Hey guys, it's Yelenka here, and this is Ask a Programmer. I made a gingerbread latte because it's autumn, almost Christmas soon, and this smells like autumn and Christmas together. But let's get started. You ask me questions on Instagram, and I'm here to answer them. They're mostly coding related, so that you know if that's a career you want to pursue. And you want to know about all the hurdles coming with it and maybe some challenges I had to face. So let's get started. The first question, is programming really a dream job? Can you tell us more about the dark side? So honestly, programming is not always a happy job, and you'll see yourself struggling a lot of times. And I would say that programming is really a lonely job, honestly, because oftentimes you are just with your computer, with your code, and you need to be super focused. Most of the times, or most people, me including, we don't like to be disturbed. We need to be really focusing on what we are doing at the moment, and we hate when someone comes into the room and distracts us because it takes a lot of time for us to get back into the focus. So I can say it is a very lonely job, and it requires a lot of time for you to actually get into your productive zone, to have full focus and really be solving that problem. And you don't want anyone disturbing you. So I don't think that it is a really social job. That's why I am doing the job, because I am an introvert and I don't like socializing that much. I love to be around my friends and the group of people I know, or around people when I know them for a little bit longer. But I don't like socializing. I don't like talking to a lot of people and meeting new people every day. So that's why this is the perfect job for me, because I can just sit behind my computer, do my job, be in my own world, in my own bubble, and it just works. Another problem I want to address is a lot of people are definitely gonna tell you that programming is great, it is fun, you're just building things. That's what I say, honestly. But it's not always like it. Of course, when you're building things, when you're starting a new project, it's also fascinating and it's also great. But when you encounter first bugs, you start to be a little bit discouraged, a little bit depressed. So you also have to think about your mental health a lot and how stable you are mentally, honestly, because you'll need to solve these bugs, and there will be more and more and more bugs occurring, because bugs are everywhere. In the way you create software, you create bugs. So this is something to consider. Do you want to be solving problems for your whole life? You gotta answer. What's your future plan for life and career? So for those who don't know, I am a software engineer in cybersecurity mostly, and I'm doing my PhD in web server security. Basically, the field is applied informatics, which is computer science. So after I finish my PhD, which is hopefully gonna be soon, I'm thinking about maybe finding a job in Switzerland, because Switzerland is like a Silicon Valley for Europe. So I definitely would love to get a job which could, again, push me somewhere else. I'm pretty happy in Slovakia because I'm from Slovakia, but the pay isn't really as high as you can imagine. And also, I don't think that there are as many opportunities as there are elsewhere. I'm sad to say that, but I never wanted to stay in Slovakia anyway, so sorry, but it is what it is, and I want to push myself forward. And also, I would love to learn new languages, get fluent in other languages. As you might know, I know German. I'm trying to learn English on a higher level, so that would really push me forward, I think. After I have a stable career, I'd love to have kids, because you want to give your knowledge to someone else. Hopefully they will love programming as well. It does not have to be programming, but they can choose whatever career they want. I will totally support them. How did you start at cybersec? What role do you have at work? My friends were in cybersec. I'm gonna be totally honest. Those were my best friends from university. And I was studying computer engineering at that time. I totally hated that. I thought that that was a huge mistake in my career. Was it not? Whatever. The fields at our university are not that much different. So we had a few more subjects focusing on hardware and electronics, but otherwise it was probably almost the same, so I did not regret that much later on. But we had a lot of networking, and I did not like that. Honestly, I hate it. It's not where my soul is at. But anyway, those friends were studying information security, and they had a lot of subjects on information security. And sometimes when I was like too overhyped, I used to go to their courses and I used to listen to the lectures, sometimes also went to the labs. I was just there, just sitting, you know, trying to get as much information as I could. Because there was a cybersecurity company I wanted to work at. I don't want to name any names, but that's like the biggest company we have in Slovakia in like information technology, and that's the company where you would want to work at if you were a coder and if you were interested in cybersecurity at that time. And I wanted to work in cybersecurity. I thought that it was something important, you know, like you have to be really thoughtful about what you're doing with your data and which data you're putting out, which data you're not, and how to secure data and everything which goes with that. So I was very much interested in cybersecurity. I wanted to land a role at that company. So I was basically doing everything I could to like get some knowledge in that field. I learned assembly and everything connected with that. So that was really fun. And you were like a detective, which is trying to like find out why the attacker, or what the attacker is doing in the binary you're analyzing. So that was super fun. But let's get to the next question, because this is kind of like my way to cybersecurity. And then I started to work at that company. My master thesis was focused at cybersecurity, same as my dissertation thesis. So it just kind of went on from there. I forgot to answer the second question. What role do you have at work? I'm simply a software engineer. Your content is so appropriate and motivating. Thank you so much. The reason why I'm including it in this video is because I really want to motivate you guys to go into tech and try it out, because it honestly costs you nothing to just try it out and see for yourself if it's something that would be for you, or if it's something that you're not interested in at all. How much time do you spend in coding when you are in studying? How much time I'm spending in coding? Well, I'm doing my dissertation thesis now, so I can't really tell, because some weeks it's like I don't code anything in terms of my dissertation thesis, because I'm like analyzing what I could do and thinking about what I could do next, and so on, reading some research papers. So I'm not coding that much, but other days it's like I'm coding like from morning till evening for my experiments to run, for example. But I'm not coding that much regarding my dissertation, whereas I'm coding like every day from my work start to my work end and my software engineering job. How to not give up in learning. I think the best way to learn is by doing. So even if you would like want to learn programming, for example, you should work on problems which you want to solve. So for example, if your dream is to build an app which will do this and that, then I think the best way to learn for you is actually build that app you want to build, because you're gonna learn so many things along the way. Not only how to build the app, but also like how to build a good architecture for you to be able to maintain the app, how to test the app, how to actually deploy the app. So you learn so many things by doing what you actually want to do from the start than just by taking a tutorial and the tutorial guiding you through something which you're maybe not even interested in. What your dissertation is about. I admire your passion indeed. Thank you so much. My dissertation is about web server security, and I'm trying to incorporate machine learning to kind of like predict the curves of the server, and also to catch anomalies which we would otherwise wouldn't be able to catch. Also to look at, for example, per user requests, so how the user is behaving on your system, on your server, and when that is harmful and when that is not harmful. I want to start coding, not much background knowledge though. You don't have to have background knowledge to start coding. I went to my coding university, computer science, and I didn't know how to code. And the first thing they throw at you was code this, code that, code that. And I had no idea. So just watch some basic tutorials and they'll get you started, and then you can just work on whatever you want, and you'll find how you should solve the problems along the way. By looking up what you're trying to solve, you'll actually learn how to do it. Have you ever tried Reactjs? I have, but honestly, I didn't like it. I wasn't as good at coding back then. I was a total beginner. So honestly, just for a little while, and I never got back to it, so no. Do you recommend working remotely as a software engineer? I don't know you. So it depends on what you're like. So for example, I'm a person who likes to be at home a lot. So to me, to be able to just wake up, you know, and just stand up, go out of my bed and just sit behind the computer, which is in another room or wherever the computer is. To me, it is really nice because I know that I don't have to spend time commuting to work and commuting from work. I don't have to socialize, so I can just, you know, be in my own bubble and just work. But I can understand that this might not be what people want generally, and I totally get it. So if you're a person who likes to socialize, if you like to meet your colleagues, then I think that the best thing for you would be to not have a remote job. I think the best combination is when you have something which is hybrid, so they tell you that you can be at the office or you can work from home. I also don't like when people tell you that you have to be like at work, like in the office, like 3 days, and you have to be like, it has to be Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday or something. I don't like that. I like to like choose when I want to go to the office and when I want to go to and when I want to be at home. So I think that is a big privilege to have such a hybrid job and also to have a fully remote job like I have, and I'm super grateful for that. But of course, there are times when I'm like, oh, I wish I would meet some people because I get lonely or I want to socialize a little bit. Could you imagine working within the game development industry? Totally. I would love to work in the game development industry, but I was always kind of like, is it paid enough? And how good do you have to be to land a good role? Because honestly, the game development course at our faculty was like so popular. And there were so many people which were taking that course, and there were so many people which were like creating amazing games. Like at that time, I was like, wow, like you must have spent so much time creating this and you just devoted all your time to that one project. You know, all the things with game engines, there's some physics involved, that there's some mathematics involved. So that's also something to consider, like whether you would want to work with that. But honestly, I very much enjoyed my game development course where we were creating a game in Unity. So definitely would love to do game development. Maybe it would be my second choice after cybersecurity. Is it common to talk openly about salary levels in your country? Sometimes you're not even allowed to talk about salary at some companies. And the reason why is because a colleague at the same level as you are is getting paid more or is getting paid less than you. So if we would talk about it, the person would complain and. I actually have a colleague who struggled with this. He found out that another person who was working less was paid more, even though like they were on the same level. So he had to address that, and it was not a nice conversation. It's not a nice conversation to have. But generally, between my friends, I think we talk very openly about what we are earning. And it also pushes us forward, because when we find out that that person is earning a lot more than we are, then we, of course, want to earn as much as he earns. So it motivates us, it pushes us forward. So yeah, for the jobs in our country, there is almost always a salary listed. I don't know. Probably it might be like they have to list a salary. I don't know. But it is great. Like if you're looking for a job in our country, there's always something written like you are expected to get this salary or more. But for example, when you're looking for a job at Switzerland or somewhere, they don't list it there. So you have no idea most of the time. Which programming language are you currently working on? So I'm currently mostly working in .NET and C#, but for my dissertation, I work in C++ and Python. For example, for mobile development, I work in Flutter, and I've actually started to learn a little bit of web development because I've never done it. So I'm doing that in Vue.js. What is better, LaTeX or MS Word? So whenever you're writing, for example, a bachelor or master thesis or dissertation, you're very much encouraged, or research paper, you're very much encouraged to do it in LaTeX because LaTeX can do a lot of the formatting for you. And with Word, I feel like you're more focused on the formatting than you're actually focused on what's inside the document. So to me, definitely LaTeX. It just makes so many things so much easier, and that you kind of feel like you're coding. How do you manage your work-life balance? You don't look stressed like a developer. That's really funny. Why is it funny? Because I'm totally stressed out almost every day. But I had a few issues during last year where I started to have like major health problems because of me being stressed out all the time. So I had to like calm down, focus more on myself, focus more on the things I love, and to actually say that I have too much work and I don't want any more work. Because you know, I'm a software engineer, I'm studying, I also have social media and everything that comes with it, you know. It's not really easy. It's not like you wake up and you go do your job, you know. You have to do your job, you have to do something for your studies, and also you have to like talk with brands regarding all the collaborations. You're sending hundreds of emails, you're having problems with the brands because they want you to create the content like that, but it's not like you want to create a content. So crazy, and that stressed me out a lot, for example. So it wasn't just my coding job did not stress me as much, but of course if you're deploying something, that definitely that's a more stressful period where you need to react to problems more quickly. I'm definitely stressed, and I do get stressed a lot, but I try to do as much as I can for me to not be as stressed, and for me to handle the stress best as I can. So for example, I go to gym a lot because it helps me to relax a lot, and I try to do, you know, my hobbies. I love to build Lego, I love to just go into the nature, I love to travel, so I always try to kind of like balance things out. And last question, what's your daily routine and what keeps you motivated to keep going? I'll answer the second part first. So what keeps me motivated? I would say it's that I always want to get better and better at everything I do, so I really try to do my best for that, and I love to motivate you guys, and it always gives me so much joy that it motivates me to go further, to do more, to motivate you even more. So I try to be a better person, I try to do more at work, and I try to just get better at everything what I'm doing. And what's my daily routine like? I usually wake up at around 7, then I'm on my phone to around 7:30, then I eat my breakfast and drink my coffee until around 8, and then I start working at my software engineering role, then I do something for my dissertation, and then I usually handle collaborations, so I cut the videos, I shoot the videos, sometimes I shoot the videos in the morning depending on if I need natural light or not, because natural light is only coming into the room before lunchtime. So I do that. So I always kind of switch it up because I can't tell you exactly, because sometimes I need to do something for collaborations. So that's when I push my work to later hours. But that's just because I am so blessed that I can have a job where I can start working whenever I want to. But oftentimes I finish work at around maybe 6 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m., and then I just do something for myself. So I watch movies or something, and then oftentimes I'm just on my phone again, because that's me, that's an introvert on the internet. All right, thank you guys for all your questions. I hope I could motivate you again, make you think about your career maybe, and show you what a coder's life is like. If you like my content, I'd be so happy if you would subscribe to my channel so that I could see you again. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Bye!